What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. I changed something big before recording this, and I probably should have looked at this sooner, but I updated the pack. I hadn't looked at whether the pack had updates since I installed it. And apparently I've been running on version 1.6. Or 2.6, whichever one it was. One of the major release versions for that time. That version was from about 2.5 years ago. We are now on version 2.21.3. And there have been some changes. A couple of those changes include, I think it's these controllers are now a different recipe. I think. I can't confirm that. But one thing that is certain is I should have done this before I did the Aether because they changed the recipe for the enchanted golden berries. And there are also new quests, which takes away all our check marks. But as I was saying, there are a recipe change for these. So we are getting these a single one from our Gravitite, the Golden Molder folder, and a few other things. Now it gives you 4. I could have used that last video. For the most part, a lot of things in here have not really changed. We're still coming into here. Building gadget was added. For up here, there is now an option, or I guess there has been, but there is an option to bypass Erebus for those who have arachnophobia. And it is crafting a robot to send it into Erebus, and it just gives you the Crown of Skies, which is essentially just a new crafting recipe for the Crown of Skies. It involves all the portals, the portal pieces, the stabs, and a robot, which actually is not that expensive to make now. These guys are really useful. I actually have never used a robot. I'll toy around with that. Anyway, you can do that to craft the Crown of Skies. I'm just going to cheat myself in a Crown of Skies and then delete it, because we've already done this, and it's just to complete the quest. If I had done the update before last time, it would have completed both this one and this quest at the same time. So, like I said, I'm just going to cheat one in to complete that. Other changes are, there is the Cell Workbench quest added over here, which kind of tells you about how to... Ow! Don't drag fingers across the keyboard like that. It tells you about customizing or restricting the contents of your storage cells. They took away the dynamic tank over here. Even though I already made it, I'm using it over there to store all our XP now. And they added a item over here that I do want to use. Viaduct. These are great items for moving around. It covers 10 blocks per second. It's going to replace our ladders that are over there. And I think I'm going to put it like right here, because I'm always up and down the ladders when I'm working on things. But today, we're going to focus on getting our gadgets and utility stuff set up. So we're probably going to do this chunk up here and maybe get this little set right here. And possibly see if we can run through this setup down here. Next time, I want to get a whole mob farm set up. That's a big chunk of this right here. That is all a mob farm. But for today, I just want to focus on this main stuff up here, setting us up with some GP to get everything going. The only one I may not do is the wind ones, because they're just kind of annoying. But, oh, there is one more quest that got added. Well, there's a couple of them, so Like, I now have access to these storage crates down here. Those would have been nice. Nature's Compass. There were these two got added in. Creature summoning. And this is a transmutation. It allows you to change certain things into other ones. Not super useful for us anymore because we've already done the exploration to get most of them. And then there's new spells. So we now have Extension. There's Acid Cloud. We have Life Drain, Shatter, and Petal Shell. All of those are going to be pretty cool spells. I'll go into more about those later on when we can actually craft them. But in Immersive Engineering, there are three new quests. I did this one up here. It's just a fishing net. All you do is set it on top of some water, put a chest on top of it, and walk away. That is in that little building right there. It's just sitting there. But there are automated crafters for immersive engineering, although they are a fairly large item. Assemblers. Yeah, these are fairly large. They're 3x3x3. And I think it says they can do 3 recipes. I really don't plan on using these because they're a little bit bulky. And you have to feed everything into them via those conveyor belts. Not the greatest thing. Their recommendation for it is actually use it to automate a leather this early. We're not going to worry about that. I'm just bulk crafting leather whenever I need it. The other one is actually under powers and generators, and that is a lightning rod. So you can craft this thing. It does require quite a bit of expensive items. These are all HV capacitors on the bottom. Not exactly the cheapest thing, but this thing can get struck by lightning. It's not vanilla storm lightning or anything like that, but if it's raining or storming outside, then it has a chance to generate a lightning strike. That gives you a huge amount of power. You can upgrade the chances of it getting hit by adding steel fences on top of it to essentially, yeah, how it says, create a net to get it struck. So it does store the energy within itself. I may look to set up one of those later on as a, I don't know, some sort of mass energy collector or whatever. You can see I set up the windmill. It's just kind of there. I wanted a nice little structure around it. That's where our thermoelectric generators are as well. So all of this stuff is just powering our ME system right now. Oh, also, look at this. These things are 3D now. Awesome. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. We're doing a lot of talking. But there's one thing I want to do before we get into our resonator and starting with GP. I finally got enough of them. This guy has been a pain in my butt for a while. So we finally got that quest done. A cauldron, I don't care about a water bucket. We're gonna go fight this King of Scorchers. He should be pretty easy for us to fight. We have really good. Oh, it gave us both. Okay, well, go in there. The only thing I do want is I want a potion of fire resistance. I want. What is it? The weird stuff. Here we go. Potion of strength. I'll take a splash potion of healing. I don't know anything about this guy. I just know he uses fire. 20. A minute and a half. That's a lot of stuff. Let's see. I take that as well. I don't see this fight going much longer than any of that stuff. But we have to go to the Nether. I have a new room that I have set up. We're going to be using it today. And we're going to be making some small changes to it. Because we need to fit 3 things down here. I am hoping this guy spawns the way I want him to. I have a staircase for the moment. But go ahead and take all our potions and see if we can fight this guy. Hi. Wow, he is... He is tanky. It really doesn't do any damage to me, but... He's also stuck on the floor. He doesn't move very much, does he? And he's dead. And I got no loot from him. Because that's all under the floor. These are just slabs. Hey, there we go. So he's guaranteed to drop 4 of these Fury Fire. He's guaranteed to drop some of these blue fire stones. Gives us an orange heart, shader bag, because we really need that. And the King of Scorchers statue. I don't know if this is useful for anything, but... Oh, we can craft it into the essence of foundation. Make player heads. And a book of logic. I have no idea about any of it. I don't know what these are for. Oh, I see all that stuff. Make the essence of logic and solve the puzzle. Use Steve, Alex, and Herobrine with the correct age, number of friends, and height to craft this item. It can only be crafted manually. The repetition. Make Essence of Infinity. To make Infinity Catalyst. Interesting. So that just has its whole mess of a chain. You won't, buddy. Gonna stand there? Anyway. So apparently I will have to fight him a few more times to get enough of those statues for stuff. At some point. I don't think we're anywhere near getting into that. For now, we need to get our GP stuff going. So we need to craft a resonator, a manual mill, and then we can craft a solar panel, which I think is required. The resonator is a bunch of redstone blocks, relic ingots, this elite control circuit, and our resonating orb that we made. Now we can craft a couple of these, and I want to make, I think, 3 of them. So the resonating orb is reusable, as long as you're careful about how you use it. AE2 will delete it. But as you can see, it has a durability 256. I don't think we're going to need that many resonators over time. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. We're now done with it. And let's put our redstone and reinforced alloy away. I am going to set up an area probably down there with our... You know, I should set it up over there. A new wall. That's going to be for our resonators and the stuff that they create. So, to go with this, we need the manual mill. That gives us our manual. Go ahead and grab our home. And add that to our tome. As for our manual mill, this is not too difficult to make. What? Doesn't need cables. Simply while you're generating X amount of GP, all your GP using machines will work. Granted, they're using at most X amount of GP overall. Okay, so we need to make this manual mill, which is not that expensive. Some polished stone, redstone gear, more polished stone. Polished stone is pretty cheap. You get 4 of them from a single GP powder. I crafted up just a little bit of GP powder. Where you at? Gold. Just a little bit of GP powder. I went out mining for more diamonds. I will grab the stone we do have in here. And make us some polished stone. We're going to need quite a bit of this. Because I think it is also the polished stone that we craft into our stone burnt. Yes. So that's the gate on that. Anyways, we need one of those, and we needed, what was it, redstone around that? Redstone torches. Redstone torches. I think I have any of those. No, I don't have any of those. Let's just make half a stack of those. Those always come in handy. And there is our manual mill. Put this right here for the moment. But that unlocks the ability to make the solar panel. Now, the solar panel only generates 1 GP during the daytime, and I just have to throw it outside. Oh, I need more of those. Okay. There we go. We got a bunch of those. Let's go ahead and make our solar panel. And I'm going to just go stick this outside somewhere. Doesn't really matter where, as long as it's open to the sky. How about there? As long as it's open to the sky, it'll function. Not too worried about it. But we do need its 1 GP, because the manual mill only produces 15, and you have to manually stand here and spin it. As soon as you stop, it stops. So we need to make, give me those, use those more. We need to make these guys. These redstone stars are the core for all of the GP producers. We're going to need to make a bunch of these, which means we need this red coal, ender shard, which isn't hard to make. Okay, that gives us our ender shards for that. The red coal, I think, is just some coal run through the resonator. As you can see, it's 16 GP. So we have to actually have the solar panel and the manual mill to make these. A couple blocks of coal, which I should have plenty of them sitting in here. Now this is going to take a little bit. I have to wait for it to get... No! Not rain. That messes up my solar panel. Okay, while I'm waiting for the rain to go away, let's take a look at some of our other items. The stone burnt only requires 8 GP, so I'm going to make a little bit of that. All in all, I think I do want to make a stack of this, because this stuff is used for quite a few things, and it is used for all of our mills. Now, I am going to need a lot of this, which is part of why I really did want to make all of this stuff. I just put the rest away. I'm going to go ahead and make a whole bunch of this. Should give me a stack and then some. Yeah. I'm going to need more than that too. So I'm going to work on making this, because obviously I don't have enough power for the solar panel to let me make the redstone crystals. Let me just get these made up. I'll be standing here for a little while. Okay, I think I've finished crafting all this stuff. So I got those made up, and we now have a whole bunch of things in our inventory. We've got 20 of our redstone stars. We have a 2.5 stacks of stone burn, because we're going to use all of it. I made a few more GP powder. And I made this stuff down here. We're going to use this to make mills. Now, each mill has a limit on how many of them you can have before you start getting depreciating returns on them. And if I remember right, that limit is 5. So we're going to set up 5 of each of them. We're going to have 20 mills. The only one I don't have a spot for yet is the water mill. I have set up a spot for the lava and fire mills. And the recipes to make them are actually pretty simple. So let's grab... I think it's... Wait, what did I say? Making 20 mills total. Let's just... I don't need that many there. Let's just do that for the moment. Our first mill that we're going to be making, all of these should go right here in the middle, are our water mills, which require these. So as you can see, it says, gives GP for adjacent flowing water blocks. The higher the level, the more GP. Source and full water blocks do not count, so it has to be flowing water. And I have a plan for that one. We're going to use the same plan for the lava mills. Now, the lava mills are the same recipe with nether brick fences. So we get our fire mills. The lava mills are... Alright, let's do the windmills first. So the windmills, as you can see, their power given changes depending on weather and location. Yeah, we're going to get a bunch of those. But we'll take our 5 windmills, and now lava mills are just all stone burnt. We're going to get 5 lava mills. Progressive efficiency loss. 0 to 200 is 0%. Above 800 is 80%. That doesn't seem right. I don't think those are perfectly accurate to how we're setting things up. But I haven't done a super huge amount of testing on them. The first thing I want to do is we're going to go to the nether, where I have set up some space in our lower area beneath the portal, where all of our fire and lava mills are going to go, because they do actually get a slight boost being in the nether for the lava mills. And I figure, might as well throw the fire mills in here too, so I don't have to worry about burning anything down, because a large part of my base is made of wood, and I do have fire tick on. We're going to go ahead and put that down there. We have our lava mills. And what we're going to do is... I think I set this up just wrong. Yeah, I set this up wrong. I need a 7x7 space for these. Well, we can set up the fire mills. The fire mills are just going to go here. And we just need our flint and steel in here somewhere. This one. We just light the fire underneath. Since it's on netherrack, it'll never go out. But as you can see, they are generating 8, and we have a total of 41 already. How's that for nice? Okay, so this is the amount of space we need for our lava mills. So it should be like this, this, and this. That should be enough space for our lava mills to get their maximum amount of power. Go ahead and... Oh, I'm going to need to claim this chunk to make sure this is here. I want to just chunk load it. And where are my buckets? The way you can do this is it follows the same rules as the water ones. It has to be flowing, and this is why we do it in the nether, is so that we get that better flow. So if you do it right there, you can see already generating 7, 7, and 7. Now, I don't remember if you get a boost for having more than the one for each. But we're going to go ahead and do that. And look at that. We're up to 76. Also going to throw a single bucket of lava right here. And it'll serve a purpose. We'll get to that. But for the moment, we are done in the nether. Okay, we're over here at our windmill. This is where our windmills are going to go. As long as I can remember how they need to be placed. I want to say I can get rid of this for our 5th one. And then I'm going to do... I want to say setting them like this shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, 3.07. Oh, they're going down a little bit. Oh, no, there we go. The wind ones do fluctuate a little bit, so they're not always great. But the fact that I was able to put them like this just means that's exactly what that should be. Anyway, for our next one, we're going to be hopping down here. You can see I redesigned this a little bit. Our windmill power comes down the middle and then goes out there. I'm going to go ahead and put our water mills back here. There's going to be plenty of space for this. And we're going to do the same concept as the lava mills. Oh, we're going to do the same layout as the lava mills. We're going to need our bucket, and I should have a thing full of water in here. Anyway, look at that, I got water. And it's the exact same plan. Right now, that's generating 2. That one's generating 4. So these ones do benefit from having it on each side. This one's generating 3. And now we have 4 on each of them. So that's another 20. So that is all of our grid power set up. I did put a light up here. Otherwise, this is going to get really dark. I'll clean up this room and I'll make it a little bit better and appealing between videos. But I do need to get this video taken care of and put up. But with that, we have all of our power systems up in place for our grid power. Now, there's one more part I want to do today, and don't think we're going to have all the time I need to do this drive down to here. Because this thing takes time to make this. These also take a little bit of time, but they're not that bad. But it wants me to go through a few different things to try to get there. Like, for whatever reason, I need... Oh no, I just need some lunar reactive dust. But before we get into that, one of the first things I want to do is I want to make some of these. These transfer nodes are useful for a whole bunch of different things, and we're going to be using them for our mob farm as well as a few things here so that I can minimize item conduits when we get to that point. If we're going to be making these transfer nodes, I'm really only focused on these ones right now. The rest of them, or the other two, I don't really plan on using anytime soon. Energy transfer nodes always transfer 5,000 RF per tick. I have no use for them. So we're probably going to make that one and then just put it in a box. The item transfer nodes, on the other hand, have a good use. So first thing we need to make is some of these transfer pipes. Transfer pipes themselves, I don't really care about. I want the transfer nodes, and I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, we've got our item transfer nodes. But what I have planned for them is actually some semi-automation again, like most of our systems. And that is, we're going to come down here. I gotta remember how these work properly. But we should be able to throw these in the plate press. And it'll flatten them so they can actually work between blocks. Now these, I have to remember how they place. Because you can place them to either push or pull from the block that you place them on. So I have to remember which direction that is. But we're going to come up here. And I have a spot. We have 5 of these resonators. I've already got them placed, except for this last one. And we're going to set these up to make each of the 5 items that we need from the resonators. There's only, I think, 10 recipes in total for them. But we have this page and this page. This is one we will need later, but we're absolutely nowhere near getting that. These ones are okay and useful, but we don't really need them. They don't have any uses, so I don't need automation for them. I will make one more resonator to keep upstairs, so I can use for random things here and there, as our machine wall up there is collecting for. But we're going to go ahead and set this down, and the recipes we're looking for are stone burnt, quartz burnt, red coal, which we can do from either charcoal or coal, this lunar reactive dust, and upgrade bases. So we're going to set up one thing for each of these, but in order to do so, I need to be able to put these. And if you look at the description for them, thinner than the thinnest of pancakes, small enough to fit between blocks. Hold left control when placing to reverse, push, or pull. I want to place it like that. Yeah, so if I remember right, if we do it this way, it should... Here, I can use... This is an example. These are what go in here. And I have more drawers. Oh, I can't put all of them down just yet. Once we know this is working properly, go ahead and throw that in there. That'll work on its own. Let's disconnect this guy. Not what I wanted. Okay, so that is working correctly, which means I want to put each of these on here. They're now all placed. Let's go ahead and put a drawer next to each of them. And I can start getting some of this stuff going. Let's grab our key to lock them. And now things like stone burnt, I can put in there and take right back out. I don't have any quartz burnt on me, and I don't have any of the red coal on me. I put it up in storage. But now that those are up here, we can have some automated systems. That should be a quest. There's a one like 4. One's 3. Once we get to true automation with interfaces, we will set up things back here to automatically connect to them. How am I going to connect these? I guess I can push that out by one.